I've been eating it. I've steady been eating it. And my mom gets the assistance with it too. You know, I don't have the time to go over there. When I get off, it's dark out.
Yeah.
Or I'm fucking exhausted, and that shit sucks.
No, it's good for everyone involved. You, him, your mom. Everyone's good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to speak up, but you don't want to speak too quiet.
Gotcha. Do I talk quiet?
No,
Am I a
not
quiet talker.
Not necessarily. Maddie's a little quiet. So this mic, what up, Maddie? This is a good mic, right? But it's a shotgun mic, obviously you can tell. And like I was telling you,
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know why it's called a shotgun mic. Maybe because it looks like a barrel of a shotgun. But it's good.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting here and I'm like close.
Okay.
This is still pretty good because I just did a test.
Okay.
And this is why I set it up like this so that we're a little bit closer than if it was like set up over here.
That makes sense.
And then we're all the way back there.
Makes sense.
So what's up? Well, there's a lot.
Holy shit.
I mean, there's probably things that we shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's find a topic that's suitable because we have careers.
We definitely
and there are people in our lives.
Wow.
They wouldn't be disappointed. Definitely not.
The ones that are in our lives
and
know
not
our fucking stories anyway.
Right.
But.
So it's nothing crazy, but it's a little crazy what's going on.
A little bit, yeah. We'll allude to the fact that there's some weird shit happening.
I think it's just the world. Have you seen the new Conjuring?
I have.
And there was like a scene where like they found something under the house.
Yeah. Yeah, those little ruin things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that dark witchcraft.
And that kind of has me thinking. Because, you know, earlier you were saying, like, people believe in God and we believe in higher powers, right? So, but you know what? I think it's, we believe in that when things are going good.
Well, I believe that if there is good, there is bad. Just like when there is day, in order to appreciate day, you have to have night.
Right.
So I think that whatever our Creator is good.
Right.
But it still allows bad for us to appreciate the good.
And but my question is, and when I think about God or higher power, there's no like tangible thing I can think about, right?
Right, yeah, no, I don't believe that, and this is just a personal belief.
Yeah, of course.
I don't believe it's some guy riding a fucking chariot through the sky.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Right.
I believe in energy.
Me too.
That may be a sentient form of energy even.
Right.
That has some kind of cosmic purpose for us.
Yeah.
But
do you think you have to believe in it for it to affect you? Or do you think, for example,
I think it
even
affects
if you
everybody.
don't believe in it?
I think it affects everybody, whether they believe or not.
Right.
You know, you see all the time people that don't believe putting good out into the world and good coming back to them. It's like a boomerang effect. Whatever you send out there, the universe is going to send right the fuck back to you.
Right. So what about the bad?
If you send bad out, it comes back to you. I think it takes longer for the good to come back to you,
100%.
than for the bad. I think if you put bad out there, bad's coming back to you right away.
You know what? I think as addicts, well, for me, like, I'm not used to the good coming. So it was so much, and that's why I believe, as far as when you're talking about energy, I believe in that because I was doing so much bad to everyone, more than I thought I was doing. I thought I was just living life and getting high and like, oh wow, I'm pretty good at this shit. Yeah. Like I'm pretty good at manipulating people, and I'm getting high every day.
Of course.
So that was working out for me, right? Mm-hmm. And then near the end of the addiction and everything, I think that's like when the negative energy comes back. And then I'm coming up on 3 years clean.
Mm-hmm. And
slowly over time is when like the good creeps back into your life.
I'm coming up on 2 years clean. Yeah. I'm seeing good things happen, but I still, and this is the self-flagellation that we all give ourselves, I still don't believe that I deserve it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's why it feels so awkward to me.
I had a conversation with Fisher today.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about work, and I brought it up to you. And I don't know if you feel like this, but I was talking to him about my work situation and everything going on, and like I asked for like a certain at my job, right? And I was nervous.
Yeah.
Asking for it. And then he goes like, well, you undervalue yourself. You know, that's a I don't know if it's a skill or a mindset, because I don't want to go into a situation, especially at my job, acting too arrogant or cocky. But at the same time, if you don't, I feel like I don't believe in myself enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the undervaluing or whatever you were just saying. That's something that I don't know if it gets in my way and like negatively affects me, but I really think it takes, sometimes because of my past, it affects my self-esteem, as far as I can be doing so good. It's clear as day that I'm doing everything well as far as in a specific, if we're talking about something, but I still find a way to
sell myself short
to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's so easy for me to see my deficiencies. Right. Everybody else can see my strengths and how good I'm doing in life. And I just mentioned this in the group chat the other day. It's so easy for everybody around us to see how good we're doing in this life because they only see us in small increments, where I am with me all fucking day.
Yeah.
And so I'm putting in these little bits and pieces and putting things into play, but I'm not seeing the larger picture because I'm so hyper focused
on the moment.
Yeah.
And maybe what you did wrong that day, or not perfectly that day.
Correct.
But I mean, I can't sell myself short and you came from a similar situation, going to a halfway house, had nothing really to your name.
Yep. Didn't rely on mom and dad.
Had to go get
a
job at a staffing agency, waking up at
3 o'clock in the morning,
whatever time it was, and just but I think it's just part of the addiction, and probably the mindset is we're never, and this is something I have to work on too, as far as never being satisfied. It's not a bad thing now, but there's not every day, but really a majority of the time when I'm just living life, going to work, or it's a battle as far as, dude, I ain't doing shit.
Right.
Like,
I should be at this point by now. I should be here. Dude, I'm just learning to be grateful for what the fuck I have.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is what holds you back from asking for what you know what you deserve at work, is because we came from nothing, having to scam, scheme, script, save, steal to get what we needed, to now we have this money, and so we're so grateful for this that we fear we're going to lose what we have.
Absolutely.
By asking for what we're worth.
That's the exact reason.
And so we undersell, like, I really want this, but if I could get this, I'd be okay. But I'm not going to be satisfied with that shit, bro. Yeah.
And for me, it's it is about the money, of course. At the end of the day, it's a job, right? But
you're not the Red fucking Cross.
But it's asking for like that raise, and it's just kind of like growing balls.
Yeah.
You know, that's
it's a fear.
I'm not used to like a corporate scenario or like that kind of thing. So my style, I get the job done, but I feel like I don't fit in. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, I know I'm doing a good job and I'm an asset in this situation, but it's almost like, man, but do I fit in here? Do I not fit in here? But I think that's also just like a self-esteem thing, as far as, and it's just a job. So I always tell myself, like, jobs are good. You can turn them into careers, but I've always wanted to do eventually something by myself. But I won't undersell the fact that this job has been a blessing, and it's given me a different level of financial freedom, and just, honestly, I never even thought I would be where I am now with this. So it's kind of like I don't plan on leaving or anything like that, but it's like I know it's a stepping stone, but I don't want to rock the boat with who I'm good with, and that kind of thing.
Sure, but if we don't step through that fear, right, we're always going to stay stuck in this same fucking spot that we're always in.
Right, 100%.
And we're never going to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted to fit in because I never fit in anywhere, and so I tried to be that chameleon, to be in every single group,
or to please
not
everyone.
Rock that boat,
exactly.
And please everybody.
Right.
And so that's why for the longest time I wouldn't speak up at work when my brother or father had a disagreement about something, and I sided with one or the other because I didn't want to piss either of them off. I would say,
it's so bad.
I rub my hands in the situation. Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Yeah.
But ultimately that caused a lot more problems.
What do you mean? With you or with
internally?
Yeah.
Internally, because I would fight myself from speaking up.
Yeah.
Even when I know that, sometimes I had good ideas, but I wasn't in that position to be able to make those decisions.
What do you mean?
Well, with regards to whether it be advertising or taking on a new CRM, a customer relation management program, or just the way we're going to handle running the jobs.
Yeah.
I had my own views on it. My brother had his views. My father had his views. I liked some of the points from both sides, but I never could speak up because I wasn't in that position in the company to make those decisions. Yes, I was VP of sales. Yes, I guess I did have a say in it because they would ask me what I think. And
even when they asked you, though, they would straight up ask you for your opinion.
Yeah, and I couldn't give it to them because I didn't want to piss one or the other off.
I'm stuck there right now at my job.
Yeah.
In that position, bro.
And it sucks. It sucks being in that place because, it creates such internal turmoil.
Yeah.
And I hate feeling like that. Conflicted with myself.
I know, it's the worst. When I experienced it today, because I got off the phone with Fisher, and, last night, I was like, I'll eventually I'll bring it up. He's like, well, just know that the longer you wait, the smaller your balls are going to get. And I love when he says shit like that because I can feel it. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, you know what? And that's a different perspective. He's done more, but I need that sometimes, dude. As far as I'm so okay. Things are going good, and I just don't feel like it's my right or this and that to even speak my opinion and be truthful about it.
Yeah,
it's so hard when you're working with other people. You don't want to make anyone else feel like they're. But you know what?
You don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And in that meantime, you're making yourself extremely uncomfortable.
More uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I love the people I work with, but it's business at the end of the day.
Correct.
I don't mean that to sound like conniving or evil, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? As far as you have to speak your opinion if you feel like you aren't being compensated a certain way, and it's they might not change anything, which is fine. But at least I don't care. At least I spoke my mind.
I'd rather have an oh well than a what if.
Yeah. Right. I'd rather.
What if I would have said something about this? What if I would have spoken up about this? Where would I be? No, dude, I did speak up about this. I did say something about it. It either goes somewhere or it doesn't, but you have to make that decision and stand by it as an adult. Good or bad, whatever the outcome is, the outcome will be.
Yeah.
And
I think, I know for a fact, but it's still something I'm trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're in addiction, whether you're at a job, whether, you're working at a company, those conflicting personalities will be there. But I think it's so, and I'm just learning, don't let that stop you from you being you and voicing what you want to say in the situation, because people will, I think, give you more respect in the long run when you are a part of that conversation and you do challenge the ideas and you do challenge what's going on. Because I have a perception that everyone else, they got shit down packed, so they're not struggling with the decisions that they make and they know exactly what they're doing. But I don't think that's a real thing. I think everyone is struggling to either run their business 100% efficiently, and maybe they do want input.
Or, let me flip the script on that one. Maybe they've had more experience doing it because they haven't numbed themselves for so many years like we did. Running from conflict with the drugs and the alcohol.
Normal stuff, just talking to people.
Correct.
Yeah. Just having normal.
They've had more of a social interaction with people and effectively handling these conflict resolution situations, whereas our conflict resolution was a bag or a bottle.
Right. So that's why.
And so now we don't have that vice or that safety net or that warm blanket to wrap us up when we're uncomfortable.
When I feel weird, just pop us in and go back to my phone calls.
Yeah.
Very weird
Take
stuff.
a couple shots and go do things.
Yeah, and it's crazy you bring that up because it sounds so ridiculous to me now, but when I was working at LA Fitness, dude,
it made perfect sense.
I was gone, bro. I would, whatever the manager would tell me to do, okay, I'll do it. If he wants to yell at me this way, okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, and then just get high about it or get drunk about
yeah.
it. I think there's a lot more things in I think it boils back down though to self-esteem. Sure. Because we let these people in our lives kind of shit on us, or not even shit on us, but perpetuate our own fear of our undervaluement of ourselves, because they are more accustomed to just being in those societal conversations, or that position of, hey, we're at work now, this is how we behave, this is how we problem solve, we talk about it. But in our addiction, and I've only been clean 3 years, and I'm only 28 years old, in our addiction, we never had any type of constructive conversation, not with my parents, not with my friends, definitely, my friends that there was nothing constructive. Friends. Right, exactly. So you know what? I think for me, everything is new.
Dude, anything we experience in sobriety is a new experience to us. Regardless of how similar it was to situations we dealt with high, we never really fully grasped the gravity of that situation because we were always numb to it. And now we're feeling these feelings and emotions towards situations that we numbed for so long, and it's awkward to us.
It is awkward, bro.
So going back to the negative thinking, I think that at a certain point, we, with our internal voice, turn that negative thinking inward, and we just think that it's normal. And we become comfortable with it. Right. Yeah. Even now in sobriety, I catch myself in those negative thinking cycles. Okay, I'll go for days on end in this just infinite negative loop of you're not gonna make it. You're not in the right industry. You can't make fucking sales. Nobody likes you. Ad infinitum on that.
Yeah.
But then I snap back to some of the things that fucking Lynette had me do when I was in ECS. Probably have to edit that part out.
You think so?
I don't know.
Why? Who is she?
She was my counselor.
Okay.
But
I think that's fine, right?
Okay. I don't know if promoting it is. No, I'm not promoting it. But so what she had me do is stand in front of the mirror and vocally tell myself positive affirmations to break that internal abuse cycle that Doc talks about.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that started helping when I was there. But life will take over out here, and I'll forget about those things, and I'll all of a sudden let one bad situation start that negative cycle abuse in my brain, and all of a sudden those cogs start turning again, and I get stuck in that until I recognize, what are you doing? And I'll stop. For the next couple of days, I'll literally stand in the mirror when you leave for work.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while, I'm up after you.
Yeah.
And I'll stand in the mirror for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell myself a bunch of positive shit. Whether I believe it or not in the moment, and eventually I turn that attitude around for myself. And I know it sounds so fucking cliche, dude, but it's something that actually works. It's something about that repetition, hearing those things over and over out loud.
Before you
can't just think that shit.
Yeah.
You've got to actually speak it into existence.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, we've left reviews for ECS and stuff. So I'm sure people have spoke about their counselors and stuff.
Okay.
I think we're fine.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry, that's where my mind went as far as...
Squirrel.
Yeah. So, I think, I agree, but life is good nowadays as far as just everything, but it's, every day where most of my days are smooth. Very, very smooth. It wasn't always like that. I was, for a long time in recovery, I was worried about, how am I going to survive today? I still was in that, because when you start with $0 at a halfway house, working at a staffing agency, still trying to get your license, and those are basic adult, survival needs, whatever you want to call it, that you're supposed to have.
Bro, I remember the day you got the letter that you were getting your license back.
That shit was
fucking great.
Yeah, and it seems like a fucking...
It's forever ago.
I mean, how long ago could it have been? A year? That's it.
A year and a half.
Really?
Yeah, because it was March or April.
And then we got out of...
Or no, it was... COVID was happening.
It was hot.
So it was
it was definitely COVID.
April or May.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have happened right when everything
Shut down.
Down.
Yeah, everything shut down.
Yeah. So it's only it's been
It's crazy.
14, 15 months.
Because I don't remember. I mean, I can kind of vaguely remember Bob's Furniture and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't in the same sense.
It's crazy. It's already
Wes has his license. Until you brought this up, I forgot you didn't ever have a license.
Yeah.
You had lost it.
Yeah. So we have, you're from this area.
Yes.
A little bit.
I was born and raised in New Lenox.
Gotcha. My well, obviously everything, but for me it was move out here, but this is what I needed. So I don't know how people like you do it, where everyone in this town, you've and we've spoken about this when you were fresh out. Your drug dealer was driving right next to you. These kind of things.
Yeah, dude.
I had to get out of my hometown. I knew I wasn't going to survive if I went back. But I don't know if that was move back and live with my parents or just be in that area in general, but I'm 99% sure I would have never survived if I didn't move far away.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but some people don't have to.
I had the opportunity to move back home with my mother.
Of course, yeah.
Although she was very hesitant about it. I was doing everything right at ECS, and my mind was dead fucking set. I'm going back home.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, 100%. And then it was like 2 days before Christmas. I'm sitting there and like something just clicked in my head that said, dude, if you go home, you are never going to grow up. I was a grown-ass baby going in there, man.
How old
Mom
were you?
did 34.
You were in at 34 or 33?
34 I went into ECS.
Yeah.
I had just turned 34 a couple months prior. And I had this clarity of thought, just this moment of clarity, like, dude, if I go back, I'm going right back to the same shit. Because I'd be going back to the same house I was using in, the same bedroom I was using in.
Yeah.
It would only be a matter of time. Because Mom wouldn't be on my ass.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, that's
at all, because I know how to manipulate
Exactly.
her.
I was going to say, that's the secret.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, she cares, but what can she do?
But like at a certain point, when do we grow up and become adults?
Yeah.
And that's what hit me. Like, I'll never grow up and be my own man if I do this. So I called her immediately when I got it. I called her. I said, listen, I don't think I should come home. And she said, Johnny, I am so glad you said that.
Thank God.
I'm so scared
to
have you come home because I know that if you came home, I was going to find you fucking dead.
Yeah.
That hurts. My family, before I got sober this time, had already planned out the fact I was going to die.
Yeah.
Like they were looking at funeral plots and everything because they were ready to get that phone call. They were hoping to get that phone call so they could stop worrying about me and losing sleep.
Well, you were going for a lot of years. I was really going.
Long time, man.
I was
on and off.
Yeah, but for me, and I was using from like 15, but like weed and alcohol, and the trouble did start like right away.
Yeah.
Like underage drinking, 15. So like it was obviously there pretty quickly, but like heroin, Xanax, when it really got bad, that was probably only for me like 5-6 years.
Oh, dude, I started drinking at 7.
Yeah. That's kind of young.
It's
kind of young.
I guess.
Like once in a while, or
it became regular at about 8
That's fucked up. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Really, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Like by yourself?
Yeah.
Beers.
In my mom's basement, Carlo Rossi wine.
Wow.
Big old fucking gallon jug, man.
Yeah.
I just take sips off it. Because at that age, they put it back. My mom didn't drink it. My dad had left my mom when I was 6.
Okay.
Things were going on in my life at the time that I'm not comfortable discussing right now. And that was my escape because I learned from my father that when you have a bad day, that's what you did. That's what guys did. And then cocaine came into the picture.
That was the first drug?
Oh, weed.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, wait, you skipped weed?
It was weed when I was like 10 to 13.
Wow, bro.
13 was cocaine. 15 was pills, like Oxys, Vicodin, and stuff like that. 21 was heroin and crack.
That's when it started.
And that's when it just
until 34.
blew the fuck up. And I started snorting heroin, and then went 6 months later shooting it.
Yeah.
It was over. As soon as I found that needle, it was done.
Yeah, I was afraid as fuck.
I was not.
Really?
I watched enough TV shows.
What about now? Are you afraid of needles now? You like tattoos and shit.
Today, I'm not afraid of needles.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of heroin.
Right.
Because it's not heroin. Honestly, dude, if I were to even do a little bit of heroin today, I'd die.
Yeah.
I'd die.
Because
I'm ashamed at how much I was doing. I was shooting 2 grams a day, and honestly, it wasn't really much heroin in it. It was all fentanyl.
Yeah. That shit's scary. I was a bad addict, bro. And it's kind of like, it sounds fucked up, bro. But this is also like a hit at my self-esteem. And you'll understand why. Like, listen.
Come on,
I was out there bad, I thought, bro.
Okay.
But I was never, like, my out there bad, bro. And this is me being honest. Like, I lived in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
And I did heroin and pills and blah, blah, blah. Like, I was the type of addict for like 4 or 5 years straight. When I really got into heroin and popping pills, like, I would buy like a $20 bag, kind of like get high a little bit, and then not have any money for 2-3 days.
Oh,
Ask my mom for another $20.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat the cycle. Maybe I'll rob someone on this Friday, so then I can buy a little more. But a majority of because I hear the majority of the stories I hear about addicts were, bro, I was ripping and running every day for 10 years straight. I'm like, where did you get this money from, bro? I just suck, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know you're not holding down a job.
Right.
And I
even if you did hold a job, it wasn't for long.
Yeah. And I did a lot of bad things I thought I was doing, but I could never. Everyone like has these stories where like, bro, I was getting high and high every day for years. I'm like, how? For real?
How does it happen?
How?
Yeah.
So is it just me?
No.
It's not real.
No,
I think people
No, dude. They don't.
They go out there and wow, they stand on the corners and shit.
Stand on the corners, steal metal, steal copper, steal from stores.
I
went through 26 grand in 2 months.
Yeah.
I had a settlement for my back.
Yeah, okay. See, so
I had 26 grand and I blew through that, dude. I was smoking like a quarter of crack a day.
Yeah.
And just shooting retarded amounts of dope. Like, I didn't want to live.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think I gave up on life. I gave up on myself. But thank God I found that renewed vigor for life, man. Dude, I am so happy today. I'm taking care of my health now. Yeah. And I didn't give a shit about my health before. Not. I mean, who does when they're using?
Yeah.
But now, I actually have money.
Right. So let me ask you this. That's new to me too,
I have
right?
food.
Yeah.
I'm not like digging through trash cans or waiting for someone at McDonald's to throw their food out so I can go snake out a couple fries out of the fucking trash.
Yeah, but that's the kind of addict I was too.
Yeah.
Because I never had money.
And if I did have money,
of course,
the dope man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, but with having money though, like, so you had 26,000, but that was from like a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
was just given. Well, dude, I earned that. I had back surgery, an injury. Fuck that shit.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
So what I was getting at though is like, while you were using, bro, for like from 20 to 34, majority of it you were broke.
Majority of it,
I don't know.
Broke. Every morning I woke up
and had to find a way.
Had to go find money.
Yeah.
And I did. I was good at it.
Yeah.
I was good at it, but I also had skill sets too. I go out and clean gutters and shit like that. And
while you were sick,
yeah,
you had to. Hey, pay me in cash. I'll do this job today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or put up.
I'd reach
put
out
up ads
online
or anything, or you did.
Yeah, I'd reach out online and I'd do roof repairs, stuff like that. I'd make a couple $100, but the next day
you were good,
dead broke.
Of course.
Out of drugs.
Yeah.
And have to do the same fucking thing.
And not feel good.
No.
Feel like shit.
Yeah.
Tired as hell.
Sweating it. But after that first job, I was great.
Yeah, and then you can go for the rest of the day and maybe make a little bit more money.
Right.
Do you feel like, because...
Living in my car.
Okay. So you're not having to... Well, obviously, we're not paying rent when we're... Let me tell you.
No.
Let me... it's funny because... And this was... Okay, I was like 21, 22, 23... And what happened was I woke up in Arizona, right? So my last memory I had was me and my brother talking to each other. Well, before that, I bought 20 Xanax bars. I took 2. I started reading a book. Okay? And then the next memory before the blackout that I have is that I was talking to my brother, and he was like, dude, I'm fucking done with you. But I really wasn't there, when you're in that Xanax fog. And then the next thing I know, I wake up in Arizona, right? And it was straight up like, wow, how did I get here? After I woke up, right?
I'm sorry. Hold on.
No, you're good. But then I realized that I stole some money from my mom and dad, and then I took an airplane. I know that for a fact. And then I stayed with like a friend that I went to high school with, and then I left that spot, and then but at the end of this whole run, right? I rented an apartment for the first time with a roommate, and I was still very young and very, very naive, and it was probably like it was like 1100, right? I was working at Benihana, and life was good, and I was still drinking and smoking, and we were probably 2 or 3 months into our lease, right? And then I started doing meth, and going to work a little bit less, and then eventually I just I stopped paying my rent. Of course, right? But I thought you. Exactly, and that was kind of like my fear of that was for me. I thought I really had it that time with the alcohol but it was like a straight party life. But I'm like, dude, what do you mean? I have my own apartment now, and all my friends are here.
I have arrived.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm living out here in the world by myself, and now I'm drinking and smoking it, but I still have a job. Right. You know what I mean? And then the other drugs crept in, and so I say that because a big thing of mine. I was in a halfway house for 18 months. I was like, dude, I gotta really prove to myself that I'm not retarded with money. Yeah. That because in my addiction, I was buying $20 bags once every 3 days for years. I thought I had it in Arizona, and then, I stopped paying my rent after 3 months. A big fear of mine, ever since I got clean, was I know I can't ask anyone for any handouts. Not my parents. I don't talk to my brother right now. So whatever I do in this life, I have to make sure that I'm financially able to take care of myself and be 100% independent before I move on to the next step. But sometimes that can be paralyzing because I've come to a point where, I'm not rich, but there's so much extra money laying around. Like we were talking about this in the beginning, that it's like sometimes I look at it and I'm like, dude, that's too much. That's just sitting around. But I give myself a pass for now because first of all, it's never too much, 100%. Correct. But at the same time, you said almost 2 years, right? Yeah. For me, 3 years. It's only been 3 years. Right. I don't have to take my money and start a company. No. This year or next year or in 4 or 5 or even another 10 years. So I'm okay and I'm happy with the pace that I'm going at now, because every single time I try to do something super quickly or when I thought I was ready because I'm special and I have just enough to get by, it never worked out. So that's one of the biggest things that I've learned so far in my recovery.
Learning how to save money was a big thing for me, man. I would spend money faster than I earned it. Right. I'd get my paycheck and it'd be gone because I'd owe everybody. Yeah. Not having to worry about paying my bills. I'll say it that way. Because I'm not rich by any means, you know this. But we don't have to worry about our bills. That is a very new concept to me.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Like when a bill comes in, as soon as I get that notification for the bill, even if it's not due for a couple of weeks, my mind still thinks, well, you have the money now, pay it now. Right now.
Jesus fuck. You're a busy guy. Maybe mute it next time.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute it now. Bro.
Right now you're good. It's our first time. I don't even know if it's recording, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I hope so. I really hope so. I really don't know.
Financial stability, I think, is a fallacy.
What do you mean?
Tomorrow, something could happen where all of our money is gone.
Okay.
A hack could occur.
Yeah.
The dollar could devalue to nothing. I think too many people place. Sure, it makes life a little easier to have a little bit of money now.
On a day-to-day basis. So
yeah.
Just less stress about your
to not have to worry about where my next meal's coming from, or the lights when I flip the switch they come on, or I turn on the tap and the water comes out. But
we can run the AC all summer long and not worry about the bill.
Right?
That's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah. But anything could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I think financial stability is a fallacy. I think emotional stability and mental stability are worth way more to me today than finances.
Yeah, for sure.
I have been the happiest in the world, dead fucking broke.
Me too.
And I've been extremely miserable having tens of thousands of dollars in my bank account. I mean, at one point I had a lot.
Yeah.
We'll say that. But I was miserable. And then that just attracts all the wrong fucking people. People want to use you. I mean, regardless of whether you're throwing it around or not, when you do have that kind of money, people just see you carry yourself differently. I think it's a self-esteem thing.
And
not just me, but people in general.
Anyone that, especially if you're an addict that comes from nothing. You know, once you start realizing, but it's such a both sides of the coin.
Right.
Because you realize, I can literally do what normal people do and do it pretty damn well. But at the same time, I agree with you. The only stability that truly matters, especially for people like us, is that inward spiritual and emotional stability. The money makes it easier, but don't chase it necessarily.
Right.
Don't put too much value or put your value in alignment with how much is in your bank account.
Yeah, putting $1 on a pedestal, you'll always be disappointed.
And I don't think you'll always be chasing,
of course,
that next dollar. And
I think earning money is a new high for people, though.
Yeah, what do you
mean? Because
when
you get that paycheck, it's that release of dopamine. Because it's that reward.
For everyone?
For everybody, but I think more so for addicts.
I gotcha.
Because we were so used to that dopamine that we could get immediately.
Yeah.
Now when we get that hit of dopamine, we're like, fuck, I got this. What can I get in 2 weeks if I push myself a little harder, and all of a sudden, you're working yourself to fucking death. For what?
Yeah.
For what? And going insane. I remember August of last year when that huge storm came through, the derecho.
The fucking badass one.
Yeah.
That was fun as hell.
That was awesome.
That was so
But
fun.
I was working 14-hour days, coming home, working another 3 hours, going to sleep for a couple hours, getting up and doing the same fucking thing. 7 days a week for 8 weeks straight. Mm-hmm. That took a toll on me mentally. When I was living at the halfway house.
But I think there's a time and place for that.
And then we moved here, September, and I was still running for the derecho leads.
Yeah.
And it was hell, man. Like my brother told me, he's like,
chill.
I don't care what you do, but you need to pick 1 or 2 days a week. Every week it has to be a set day. That is your off day. You will shut off your phone. You will not work. If you need to, forward all your fucking calls to my phone. You need to take time for yourself because you're going to burn yourself out mentally. Go make a meeting. Go fishing. Go do what you like to do. And the thing is in sobriety, when I first got sober, I didn't know what I liked to do.
Yeah.
So those days that I didn't work felt awkward.
That's a very weird spot to be in.
And then the winter hits.
Yeah.
Okay? My first winter in sobriety. Like, I hit a year in December. Company shuts down. Yeah. Company shuts down mid to end of December. And then I was off for like a couple weeks before all those ice dams happened. I was going fucking nuts. You saw it, dude. I became OCD about cleaning. I was up
8 a.m. Monday morning.
Vacuuming. Wiping shit down. Like, I had to keep myself busy because I don't know how to just sit still. Dude, I got a PlayStation.
And you never play?
I think I've played maybe once. 2 hours.
In 9 months?
Bro, it's coming up on a year. I got it last September.
Yeah. And I remember I made you buy Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I never got to play it once.
Motherfucker played it once.
I was like, yo, we need that.
Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. You know,
Yeah.
I've got unopened games that I bought almost a year ago.
Right.
I just don't know what I like anymore. I used to be able to sit high as fuck,
It's so true.
playing video games all day and not care and just be cool with it. Now I feel awkward, man. But it's getting easier to have those days off. Like Sundays now, I tell customers, Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can call me Sunday. Do not hit my line unless it is an absolute emergency. Your roof has caved in. You have a leak that is just pouring the goddamn Niagara Falls into your house.
Right.
That call me for.
Yeah, fair.
Anything else, it can wait till Monday.
Right. Yeah, I think
setting that healthy boundary
for work
with work, with myself.
I've been able to set that nowadays with work because I work from home too, and it's like a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
You know, as far as phone calls or this and that. But going back to like things you like to do, like I've always known that I love anything about like putting yourself out there for the world. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about it. At first, when I was younger and using drugs, like I really liked music and I thought I was going to be a rapper, you know? And I really got into that, and that's why I have all the, you know, and I was really influenced by that. But then eventually I realized, like, I could kind of rap, but like I don't look like a rapper, you know? And you know, I realized it won't work out, but I've always liked.
You just need a couple face tattoos.
Eventually, once I don't have to go back to work. That's something I seriously thought about. I'm kidding.
No, you did.
No, I have.
I
have. And we'll get to that, maybe another story. But and that's a funny story, by the way. But I've always loved just my brother was a photographer. He was very fucking badass. And you know, growing up, I just kind of like followed in his footsteps, whether it was his taste of music or him getting into cameras. And my mom she has her own, you know, business as far as where she teaches people about it. So my family has always kind of been into that stuff, but I've always known I want to do something like this.
Yeah.
But I wasn't capable, or I wasn't ready, or I didn't, you know, because every time I tried to start like my own, I was always using.
Yeah.
Every time I tried to start any side project it always didn't end so well. So of course my thinking was, well, let me just live a normal life. Let me work my 9 to 5. Every time I reach out to try to achieve more, it kind of self-destructs. But then I always forget, well, maybe that's because you were getting high.
Yeah.
You know, now you're not getting high, but it's still a scary thing, even for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I have ownership in a company.
Yeah.
And it's a different level of
different high, man.
Yeah, but you can do it.
Yeah.
So can I, as far as whatever. As long as we don't, you know, fucking go get high.
Yep.
That's the super cool part about recovery. And you always say about what your brother, that's one of my favorite quotes by far. And it keeps me going every day.
Driven me since I got sober. On our way to his buddy's house. Or no. He had picked me up. I had already been staying at his buddy's house for a night. I went to work with his buddy the next morning. My brother picked me up from the job site. And we were driving around, and he looked at me, he goes, John, you know what getting high is going to hold for you. Pain, anguish, you're going to go to jail, you're going to be back in the hospital, you're going to hate your life, hate yourself, and nobody's going to want to fucking talk to you because you're a scumbag. He goes, but do you know what staying sober is going to hold for you? Now, mind you, my brother's at 7 or 8 years clean at this point.
Yeah.
When he's talking to me, and he looks at me and goes, because I have no idea what staying sober holds for me, but I know that I don't want the repercussions anymore of that because I've learned to love this life. Anything that comes my way now, I can handle it.
Yeah.
I don't have to run from it.
Anything.
Dude, that drives me, bro.
Yeah.
That really does.
And like, you know, the reason it drives me isn't for like it's not like the negative aspect of it, like, but because to be honest, and you know, I think it just happens once you just get more and more time, like it becomes less about the sadness and remembering how sad it was.
Yeah.
And you realize it's more, once you have more time in recovery, it's 90% 95% about, holy shit, I put in this much work and I took care of this much and now I have this. Dude, it's only been this amount of time. What the fuck can possibly fucking happen next? I have no clue, is the point.
But unless you sit back and physically look at everything instead of focusing on the moment. Like, I know in sobriety they tell us to live in the moment, live in the moment, live in the moment. But if I don't look back and see where I was and see where I'm at, the moment ain't going to mean shit to me. Yeah. Because in the moment, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I've achieved enough. But I look at the strides made in a year, and that's not, I'm not talking financially, and I'm not talking about physical belongings. I'm talking like non-tangible things, like the love of myself, emotional stability, mental fucking stability.
Yeah, that's a new one.
That's a new one, and even emotional stability at times, because I have difficulty regulating emotions. I have trouble with relationships. I do, because it's a new concept to me in sobriety. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
I don't have too much issue with you. I've noticed.
Interpersonal relationships.
Just being honest.
are okay. Sexual relationships are a different story because that's a different kind of relationship.
Yeah.
I think I still have difficulty with interpersonal relationships.
Me too, bro.
And it's just because I have a hard time letting people in.
Yeah.
Because I still have, and I'm getting better with it, but I still have that thought that everyone's out for themselves and they're out to get you or they want something from me. Yeah. When, in fact, the people I have around me today just want to help me achieve my goals while I'm helping them achieve their goals. Yeah. We're feeding off of each other's fucking energy and success and just growing to unimaginable heights.
But it's not that many people. It's probably...
It's not. That's why I keep my circles small.
Yeah.
I have acquaintances, sure.
Sure.
But like friends, people I can go to and get a no bullshit response from. And they're going to tell me what is best for me rather than what I think is best for me. Dude, you can't put a price on that.
And we're not used to, I'm not used to, like, when I called Fisher today.
Yeah.
I
Dude, I love Fisher.
But I get nervous asking people for help, dude. Extremely nervous, bro.
Sure.
I don't know why. All he wants to do is give me good advice, and I know it's going to be good, and I know 99% I might, but most of the time, I'll listen.
Mm-hmm.
But going, like, into the moment, I'm like, bro, this is so weird, like, but it's not. It's like how strong people ask for help.
When I first talked to Fisher,
he's kind of...
It was a little off-putting to me because I wasn't used to somebody wanting
like,
help.
Is it real or is it not? But I think it's real.
I think it's real, but...
Yeah, or else I don't think he'd be wasting his time for this many years with us.
Right.
Yeah.
But when he would give me advice, I would still go off and do my own fucking thing, what I thought I should do.
Oh, okay.
And then I'd be like, well, that didn't work out. Let's try it his way. And all of a sudden, shit's kind of started working out. So I thought, well, maybe there's a little substance behind what he says. And I started listening to the man more. He's almost became like a mentor to me. And I have issues with mentors in my life because of my
not
past.
to pick on you, Mr. Fisher, but he is. He's always been there. Yeah. When I really needed something, whether it's business advice or just what's my next move, or for some reason I feel like I can go to him. And he never fails.
Or just someone to listen.
Yeah.
That loves you unconditionally. For lack of a better explanation. No, that's a perfect explanation.
Yeah.
He loves us regardless, and it's not a weird sexual love or anything. It's just he wants to see us grow.
Yeah, and we're not used to
something, and we're not
at all. We're
so
not. Like,
because we still have that toxic masculinity going on.
And man. and he didn't add, those type of people, and what I'm learning to hopefully one day become is like, they give love off the bat, and they're not expecting anything except they want to see you do good. And I'm still developing as a person, so it's hard for me to genuinely say, like, because not all the time do I believe in my own advice that I give myself. So I can talk to other people and like give them advice and stuff, but I'm still very iffy about my own self. So that's why I need someone else where...
Well, because look at every fucking decision you've made in the past.
Right, of course.
Where did my best thinking land me?
Yeah, which was not even my choice.
Right.
Just woke up like kind of there, like in that area.
But seriously, like, it led me to the point where I needed to go to rehab. So I learned really early on in sobriety that I'm just going to listen to what other people have to say, because obviously what they've done and what they're doing has worked for them. What I've done, which is listen to myself and say fuck everybody else, has not worked out so well. I always wind up in jail or the hospital or back in prison or whatever it is. It's hard now trying to trust my own decisions. And I have conversations with my brother about this. Like, bro, I don't know, like, if I'm making the right decision doing this, because I still doubt that.
Yeah, me too.
Like, but at the end of the day, the only bad decision is indecision. Not making a choice or getting high. Yeah.
That's how I really view it.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this last night. The only way I could ever fuck up so bad is if I get high. Mm-hmm. And it's so obvious, but, like, not everyone, like, they still get high and stuff.
You remember what Dan had posted on the board?
No.
At ECS on the whiteboard? Mm-hmm. Based on my history.
Oh, yeah.
There is no valid reason to use.
Yeah.
There's no valid reason. I can come up with a million fucking reasons to get high right now. Not one single reason that I come up with is valid.
Of course not.
You know?
It's just fucked up, yeah.
Like, and so that's why it's not even in the books.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have that issue recently with the ex, where that threw me for an emotional fucking loop.
Well, that you've never
experienced that before, and
care
thought came back to me to use.
Yeah.
And so what do? We sat and had a conversation, and we came to the agreement that it's probably best that I go back to rehab for a couple days, sober, to get my mind right. And I celebrated 18 months in rehab.
That's fun.
Just celebrated 21 months.
Yeah, time flies,
dude.
Especially 2021.
Yeah.
The fucking year is gone, bro.
Yeah.
That was fun, bro. It was a good year.
Dude, it has been a wild
It's been a good year
ride,
for me, bro. It has.
And me too.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I don't want to get too deep into it, you know, and then actually let's wrap this up soon, because I don't even know if it's recording. But I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
What I want to say for sure is this, though, and I don't know, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone or you're better than anyone, but when COVID happened, I was working at Bob's, and, you know, we got laid off, and I was afraid again. I was still living in a halfway house, and I could have just stayed on unemployment, and I could have still been. I just realized now, Jesus Christ, I could have just been on unemployment still.
Stacking
That's
money.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, but that would have felt weird. But it was a scary moment in my sobriety, in my recovery, in my life, where I could have chosen to, because a lot of people are, you know, whether they have a family or whether they're single or whether these kind of events, they kind of make or break people, you know, and a lot of people got broken by COVID, and a lot of people, you know, fell off, or not even just addicts, but just in the world, and used it as an excuse to, well, now this happened, that's why I can't do this, and that's why I can't go back to work, and that's why I have to collect unemployment. For me, it was literally such the opposite trajectory, to the other direction, which I never expected. In my deepest moment of fear, up to that point of my recovery, I was able to break through. And actually, it's because I spoke to Fisher about it, about what to do fucking next, bro.
Yeah.
And ever since in that moment of fear, I didn't do the cowardly thing. I faced it, like we were talking about earlier, and it opened that next door to, wow, you're capable more than you're really understanding that you're capable of. You know, so that's just one. That was a beautiful thing.
Dude, how about
that happened in my life.
When I lost the job at the fucking factory I was working at, what did I do?
You made your own kind of.
I started my own company.
Yeah.
Honeydew Home Improvements. I didn't register it with the state.
Whatever.
Still paid.
It
my
was
taxes.
charity.
I still paid my taxes.
Oh, okay, never mind. He paid.
I paid taxes. I was at least honest about it.
Good.
But I was out there doing all these jobs. I mean, shit. You came and helped me on a job because one of the people that was supposed to help me just fucked right off.
Yeah, and that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't mind.
Would you help me lay 4 tons?
That was fun. That was fun.
Rubber mulch, dude.
That was hard, bro.
Asses that
was not easy.
It turned out beautiful.
Yeah, it did, and it was a good experience. I've never been that kind of. You'll see me usually sitting down, unless I'm in the gym. Bro. I don't.
You prefer the white collar jobs.
Yeah.
I'm a blue collar guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that it is what it is, and you're fucking good at what you do. I'm pretty good at what I do, and but that was a fun experience. Bro.
I mean, I didn't get back into roofing until the end of July, and then
what do you mean?
I didn't get back into the roofing industry. Work for Great Roofing.
What are you talking about?
I wasn't working for Great Roofing until the end of July.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, and I went from being a salesman to running the sales department to now being part owner of the company. I never thought that I'd be able to even achieve this goal ever again because my family told me there's no way, unequivocally, you are never going to work with us again.
Bro, because even for me, just knowing you, and we got close quickly, but it definitely never sounded like you were going to be able to take over, bro. And it's been a while now, but it didn't look too bright for you, bro.
It didn't.
It really
I've
didn't.
been hired and fired 7 or 8 times.
By the company.
The family.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful.
They always wanted to give me that chance, but this time, and it's every time I would go back to them and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm doing so good, and I was doing horrible.
Yeah.
But they would believe me because they wanted to see what they were seeing.
Yeah.
But this time I just let it be. You know, my brother had his son during the pandemic, and I reached out to him and said, listen, if you guys need someone to fill in the interim just so you can spend time with your son, great. Yeah. But even then, I didn't push the issue. I mentioned it once. That was it. And I continued doing my own thing, continued making my meetings, continued sharing just from the fucking heart, and just growing mentally and spiritually and into manhood, really. Because just because you hit the age of 18 doesn't really mean you become a man. You become an adult. Yeah. But you don't become a mature male or female.
Adult,
a mature adult, whatever. But it took so long to finally grasp that concept that I had been living in that child victim mentality for so long that I had to turn it around into Victor. Yeah. And by doing that, dude, everybody saw what I was doing. I didn't have to talk about it, man. Didn't have to do that shit. Because eventually the tongue in my shoes matched the tongue in my mouth. I was walking it. I didn't have to talk it at that point. You could just see.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
And I was so blessed with this opportunity, man. Like, coming out of detox, right, in November, I had to wait 3 or 4 days to get into ECS. And like, listen, you're not going to be able to get in until Tuesday. Can you stay sober until then? I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. That day, took an Uber to Joliet, got a Motel 6 hotel room. I was drunk and high within an hour of being back in town. Yeah. My brother came and tried to 12-step me. I wasn't hearing it. I was, fuck you. And what I was lit. Yeah. But he said, meet me at the fella. Anyways, I'll go into that story later. I mean, I could talk for hours.
Yeah. I mean, this is like our first thing. I know. It's fun.
It is, dude. Yeah. I'd like to do this more often.
And I'll be honest. I'm not wearing underwear. My balls are sweaty.
Mine are too.
It's bad in here,
Mine
bro.
Are too.
But it's worth it. We'll figure something out, bro.
Yeah.
Because once and I don't know when, and then because it won't pick up we can turn the AC on. If I have a mic right here.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Perfect. I'll just sit with that.
No, you'll have.
I know.
But this is good stuff, bro.
It's good, man.
And this is for me, bro. I'll be honest. Besides work and like working out, this is like my thing. You know what I mean?
I work,
and that's okay.
That's enough. I like to cook.
Yeah.
And I like to hit the gym every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And
with
it's
that.
enough. It's enough.
I feel healthy.
Yeah.
I feel fulfilled.
Me too. With this included, now I do. As far as just another avenue for me to express myself. So.
Express away.
Yeah, bro. Good stuff.
Love you, bro.